Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, my friends. Welcome back to Coffee Talk. I am Coach Roxanne, and you are joining me live on the Better Body Fitness fan page. I'm so happy that you are going to take the next, 15, 20 minutes to visit with me. Although sometimes it may go just a little bit longer. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, 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 my friends. Happy Monday. It doesn't look very sunshiny out right now, but I believe it's coming. I believe it's coming. Good morning, my friends. You know, once you're on, drop it in the comments. Corey, good morning. Coaching Clutch. Monica, hello. Just so everybody knows, I still have my milk foamer. There is milk foam today. First time in, I don't know, maybe like 3 weeks. I got so lazy. I'm not going to lie. I got lazy. I just wanted my coffee. I dumped my cream. I dumped my 2 tablespoons, my half, and then I'm done. Today I made the foam. Charlene, good morning. Heather, good morning. Beth, good morning. Tammy, good morning. Lori, happy fun day Monday. Jill, howdy. Ryan, thanks for stopping out. Coach, love you guys. Catch you around. It was so much fun, Ryan. I was a noodle, a mental noodle for the rest of the day. It was a good time. Thank you so much for inviting us. Charmaine, good morning. Amy, good morning. Deanna, hello. Dee Dee, good morning. Happy Monday. Dee Dee, I just adore you. I'm trying to think now. Can I get a life-size Kevin Bacon for my garage, for my gym? Can I do that? Does your husband mind that you have a John Bon Jovi? Is there a husband? I believe there is. How does he feel about John? Who else do I have on here? Corey, Amy, good morning. Renee, good morning. Michelle, good morning. Coach, good morning. Ashley, good morning. Kirsten, good morning. Heather, good morning. Cindy, good morning. My mind is not working real well today. I'm going to be honest. I had a Starbucks, a grande, so not a real large one, right before our event yesterday at 1:30, which normally doesn't affect me. I could not sleep last night. Like it was a nutty night. But sometimes caffeine is wonky like that for me. I know, it's crazy. He has accepted it about Dee Dee. Will Chuck accept my Kevin Bacon obsession? I'm not sure. Sarah, good morning. All right, quick poll. Who is actually drinking coffee right now? Type me in the box. And if you're not, what are you drinking right now? I'll bet you we've got some smoothie drinkers out there. I almost would guarantee it. Dee Dee, he doesn't mind. In fact, he and my sister bought the cutout as my surprise guest for my 40th birthday party. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good morning. Corey's drinking coffee right now. Well, cheers. Ashley's drinking coffee right now. I love it. I love it. I'll wait for a couple more of those comments to roll in. What are you doing over there as we bake? Bacon. Charlene's drinking coffee. Kirsten is drinking coffee. I love it. I love it. I'm also a slurper. I'm a slurper, especially with the milk foam. I like to suck up the milk foam, and then I'll leave the coffee kind of cool off a little bit. Corey, me. Lisa, good morning. Amy, H2O. Michelle's drinking her smoothie. Julie's got her coffee. Oh, my Lord. Karen, good morning. My cheeks hurt already. My cheeks already hurt from laughing so much today. Michelle, happy Monday. Heather, water. Don't like coffee. I won't hold that against you. Oh, Heather, water has puke for a coffee face. I get it. I actually was not a coffee drinker forever. I think that probably happened into my very late 20s, early 30s that I became a coffee drinker. And yes, I used to love the smell, but the taste, not so much. Dee Dee, me and my smoothie. And actually, when I first started drinking coffee, I owned like the creamer, like there was this much like of the worst kind of creamer you could have and then coffee. So I get it. Karen, water, not a coffee drinker. Lori, coffee check, smoothie check, 40 ounces of water check. Wow, what a way to start the day. Lisa's got her coffee. Ruth, good morning. Just crawled up the stairs. Michelle has her coffee. Jackie, water, smoothie on deck next. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Water Talk with Coach Roxanne. Doesn't have the same ring. All right, let's get to it. The title of today's video is Don't Let Them Steal Your Joy. Who are them? They could be literally anybody, and you could let anybody into those cracks to steal your joy. So I'm going to share a little story with you. I had an interesting thing happen to one of my posts over the weekend, one of my transformation posts. And it's something that I've seen happen to other people that I follow just out in the world who I think make an impact. And I've seen people get on and kind of try to discredit their journey or the work they've done. And that actually happened to me this weekend. And at first I was a little taken aback, like, why would somebody want to do that? And of course, you could sit and fester and wonder and let it take you down. You know, I showed Chuck and I'm like, and deleted it, and that was it. That was the end of it. But these things can happen anytime, anywhere. This person, you know, I think especially in the social media age, there are so many keyboard warriors. You know, obviously it was a fake account, right? There was no friends, there was no history, there's no nothing. It's just a random account out in the world that decided to pop on mine and throw a little hate out there. Good morning, Shelly. You know, so, you know, whatever they felt the need to comment, you know, but this is what I want you to think about, my friends. Nobody can do this journey for you. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter if somebody thinks that you cheated somehow or that maybe somebody else is responsible for your journey. Late to the party, good morning. But you're going to run into people like this your whole life. Your whole life. People who won't be happy for your success. People who won't support you. People who will discredit you or even question your journey. But I want you to remember a couple of things. Number one, if you're on a weight loss journey, and I've seen this happen with so many people who have lost weight, and the people who they thought loved them or supported them will come out and say something that kind of is an off-color comment that kind of wants to steal a little bit of their success. Nobody can lose weight for you. I think nobody can lose weight for you. Nobody can decide what you eat, when you eat, how much you eat. That is totally on you. Take the whole, we've talked about alcohol forever, you know, about how our friends are sometimes like, oh, come on, just one. Nobody can have your discipline. Nobody can say, yes, she's going to have one. No, she's not going to have one. Nobody can do that for you. Nobody can show up and do your workouts for you. Every single time you get up or you put those shoes on or you step foot in your gym, that is all on you. Nobody can take that from you. Not one single person out on the earth, unless it's one of your children who needs you at the moment. But nobody can take that from you. Nobody can decide how you're going to approach your nutrition. Nobody. Nobody can do that for you. You are the only one who can do that. Nobody can read the books that you're reading to work on your mindset. Nobody can listen to the podcasts that you're listening to work on a better mindset. Nobody can jump on this coffee talk and give you the information that you're going to get. Sure, maybe somebody will mention in passing what they've read or what they've heard or what they've seen, but until you actually experience it yourself, nobody can do it for you. No, and you know, the people who think that they can do it for you are probably trying to hide from something in their journey. Or, you know, it's something that I've heard for a long time. It's so much more easy for me to help somebody else than it is to help myself, right? And a lot of times that can happen. People will tell you what to do without doing it on their own. I've seen people out there try to give nutrition advice who don't take their own nutrition advice. Be very, very cautious on who you put your faith into. Make sure they're walking the path that you want to walk. Make sure they know what's going to come along in that journey. Let's see, Ruth. Caleb and I had this conversation on the way up yesterday. The must be nice people. Oh, yes, it is nice, but I have to work for it. Yes, oh my goodness. Yes, must be nice to have lost 100 pounds. Well, hell yeah, it is. But I also worked my tail off for it. And I've also worked my tail off for the past 15 years to keep it off, because it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. This also, the happy, the joy, the positive, the mindset, this just doesn't happen when you're coming from a pit of toxicity. When you are coming from a pit of toxicity, you have to work really hard every single day in every situation to keep yourself joyful and happy and not get sucked into any kind of drama. And it's hard. Beth, yes, jealousy. You know, jealousy, bitterness, maybe disappointment in their own lives, but you're never going to know. And to try and put energy into knowing why somebody else does or doesn't do something is such a huge waste of time, because you're never going to know. And they are probably even at a place that they don't know. And, you know, I feel like when somebody feels the need to create fake accounts to get on and harass people, that is a deep-rooted trauma that needs a lot of healing. People don't just do that out of the blue. People don't just have that kind of jealousy and bitterness out of the blue. And I always try and take a step back and remember that that person has had some sort of trauma that they're trying to heal from, and maybe they're not even in a healing process. And the only thing they know is to try and bring others down. Don't let somebody else bring you down. Don't let them steal your joy. Don't let offhanded comments discredit what you've done. Don't allow that to happen. And yes, in moments that is going to be harder than it, you know, it's harder to do than it is to say, but you work that muscle. Just like every other muscle out there, you have to work it. Jill, I love the advice givers that are all talk. I have a lot of those in my family. You know, and I think that's where sometimes we jokingly say that on my gravestone, it will say, what is your plan? It's not going to say, what did you say your plan was? What is your plan? What is your plan of action? Words are easy. Anybody can say words. Anybody can jump on Facebook and throw somebody under the bus. Anybody can say that they're going to achieve something. I've seen people do that for years. I'm all in and I'm going to do this. And 6 months later, I'm all in and I'm going to do this. And that's not for me to judge. It's their journey. I just have to make sure that the people that are in my pocket of people, that I'm supporting them, that I'm always there when they say, all right, what's my first step? Where do I go from here? That I'm always there to throw that support out to them. Who do we got here? We have Corey. The only thing we can do is pray for them. It's hard, but it feels good. Absolutely. 100%. I love that. I love that. I love that. Nobody can do any of the work for you. So when someone does try and discredit all that you've done, just take a step back. You know, momentarily, you might feel like you got hit by a bus, but take a step back. Nobody can do any of this for you. You didn't, we talk about all the different diets and talk about the fads and this and that, and maybe one of those things got you so far in your journey. That doesn't lessen your journey. That doesn't lessen what you've done to get where you are today. You have to embrace it no matter what anybody says. You always have to do what's best for you. And hopefully that whatever's best for you doesn't hurt other people. No one can steal your joy unless you let them. I want you to really think about that. Nobody can steal your joy unless you allow that to happen. No one can belittle your journey unless you allow it, unless you start to believe what they're saying. The second you start to believe what they're saying, you've now given them some of your power and some of your control. Now, you could, if these are people in your family, if these are people on Facebook, you could block them if it's social media. You could, you could decide never to talk to these people again. Whatever it is. But eventually there's going to be another person. and there's going to be another person, because that kind of is just how life goes. We have to learn how to deal with these things in the moment. Hootsek, good morning. We have to learn how to emotionally disconnect from things like that in the moment, because people are sometimes going to say things that they don't even mean and that they don't understand in the moment. So you have to make sure that you don't take everything personally, that it's not always emotionally connected. You don't know what somebody's been going through, and they could say something to you that really is a thought on their own journey and could come out the wrong way. That's why you never take anything personal. Never take anything personal. And if something bothers you, have a conversation. Have a conversation. Susan, I've been asked, how long are you going to be on this diet? My response, I'm not on a diet. It's a lifestyle change. And it just, what is it that they're really looking for? What is it that they're really looking for in that moment? People who've known us and known us from our past, they're always waiting for us to go back to that. They're always, people who used to know me 15, 20 years ago, they're always waiting for fat, funny, drinking Roxanne to make an appearance. But she's never coming back. And that's really hard for people who are still where they were 15 years ago to wrap their minds around. That's really hard for people to wrap their minds around. But that's not your journey to deal with. Beth, same here. They just shake their head and roll their eyes. Oh, you gotta love people. Don't try to understand where they're coming from. Because you don't know. You don't know what it is they're looking for. If you really wanted to know, you could say, what is it you're really looking for here? What is it you're trying to understand about what I'm doing? What is it that you don't support that I'm doing? It's funny. We don't want to have conflict, so we don't want to ask those questions, but those are really the questions. Those are really the answers that they're seeking, but they're too afraid to ask. They're too afraid. They don't want confrontation either. So it's easier sometimes to say an offensive comment or ask an offensive question than it is to really ask the hard questions. So remember that their journey is not yours to figure out. You have your hands full with your own journey. So now, if someone are you someone who is easily affected by the words of others or the opinions of others? If you are, you probably need to get a little bit more dialed into your why. Once you're dialed into your why, what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it, the opinions of others and the words of others won't even matter anymore. But you have to be dialed into your why. And that is going to be our conversation tomorrow. Susan, I now hear this. I need to start a lifestyle change too. My reply, I'm here for you if you want to know what I'm doing. Perfect. They say the offensive comment and then they laugh. Oh, you know what? There's even a part of me that still does that. When Chuck and I are joking around, I'll sometimes say things that I know is a little off color and then laugh. That is still an old part of Roxy that comes out every once in a while. But 20 years ago, that was the only Roxy. Everything that came out was meant to be for shock and awe. It was meant to get everybody in a room to laugh, even if it was at the expense of one person. Oh yes, I will admit it. That's definitely who I was. We're talking late 20s, still a little smarty pants, still thinking I knew everything. Oh yes. Oh, how we change and grow. All right, my friends. Susan, it says it happens often. My friend, you just got to build up that armor. Got to keep building up that armor. Remember what you're doing this for. What is your why? That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. We're going to go a little bit in depth with the why. So I would love for you to join me there. I'm going to leave this here today, my friends. This is an awesome conversation to have. This is probably a conversation you want to have with your children. Maybe this is a conversation you want to have with a friend who is dealing with this. We have to get so emotionally, mentally strong that we don't let these things feel like personal attacks anymore. They aren't personal attacks on us. When somebody does do something like this, it's truly what's going on in their life, not yours. All right, my friends, join Coach Chuck at noon for the Noon Nugget I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. talking about the why. I would love to see you tomorrow morning. Go out, have a fabulous day, and try and spread a little love out to the world. Love you all.